All right. So we are flying on our brooms of flying
Yep.
out towards the rural section of Lyria.
Head out. And I'm gonna try and split the difference. Like, so there's a fair amount on both sides because we have 1,000 feet, right?
Yes.
And it's gonna head down this way.
All right. So we're not landing then.
We can land while you cast the spell.
All right. I will take out the forked twig, which has had the fur of a bloodhound tied around it,
Yep.
the material component for the spell. And I will cast a spell, spinning it in that field of blue rippling energy to get your
Yep.
compass going. And I'm going to try and locate the nearest high elf with this spell.
That is unfortunately all we have to go on.
True, I can't make it high elf ambassador. I don't think.
Not a creature type.
No. All right.
You get a ping.
I'm about to see.
All right.
Not in the immediate vicinity of 1,000 feet as we cast the spell.
Okay, so we started this here,
Yes.
and we're just going to gradually head down this way.
All right.
For what, 10 minutes is it?
Yes, they both. Yeah, so concentration up to 10 minutes, I believe. I will double check, but fairly certain they're both the same duration. Oh no, locate creature lasts up to an hour.
More than enough time.
Yep.
All right, don't want to waste any time anyway.
Yeah. I will ask
Uh,
one question. Are we proceeding on foot or are we returning to our broomsticks?
we're gonna be on broom
Okay.
because I want to make sure because we may end up going over some rough terrain here, and I don't want it to end up being impeded because this is winter.
All
So
right.
I want to head all the way down here. Then if we get nothing, race back and head up the other way.
All right. Needless to say, two individuals on broomsticks flying through the air is not a common occurrence.
No,
Hmm.
no,
So we are garnering quite the audience.
it's not that out of the ordinary. This is a magic city.
Yes, but there is a degree of difference. This is also a bit of a spectacle, and there's a bit of a show element to it. So people are clearly stopping and taking a look and watching what's going on.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm concentrating on my spell, and we're flying back and forth. Are you going to be doing anything else during this time? Because given the vague nature of the divination we're working on here, you might want to uh, also pursue this from a more mundane approach. We are flying through the air at this point.
Well, I'm gonna have my owl out,
Yeah.
and I am going to be keeping an eye open for suspicious behavior, which is really vague.
Mm.
Anyone that's taken a more of an interest than just a curiosity point of view for this, and also looking for high elf ambassadors. Also, there's another gentleman, the what's his name there? The nephew,
Hector.
Hector.
Yes.
Well, he's not going to fit in the confines of your spell,
No.
but if I see anyone panic running,
You do have a bit of a description to go on, but that's mostly just human.
yep.
Yeah.
So enough for a roll.
Enough for a roll from the air, yes. So you have your owl's advantage, not mine, because I'm focusing on the spell.
So that would be a 19.
19.
Better than I was rolling in the first half of this.
All right. So as we're flying through the air, this takes a bit of time, especially since we're going. I still, by once we reach there, basically, if we continue along, I give the second negative input from my spell. as we're moving along, and you're keeping watch.
Yep.
As I said, a lot of people are looking up at us, and there's clearly at least a few people who are taking interest. There's a few people pointing children look up and are with eyes and wonder at what magic can do because
Yep.
they're children. There are clearly some adults who are looking up and seeing this as a bit of a show. Others are clearly curious about what's going on. But you do notice while you're looking, keeping an eye, one person looks up and then has a bit of a mark from the usual the general confusion on the face of the spectacle. Seems to be look a bit more intent with a bit more intent at this, and then turns and starts heading away with a bit more purpose.
I am going to tell you, like, how far away is he from me?
This individual,
Yep.
what altitude are we flying at?
Not very high,
Not
because
very.
it's going to screw up our
Okay.
basically rooftop.
So I'm going to say that. So that's just to avoid a lot of the taller buildings. I say we're flying at a minimum altitude of 30 feet.
Yeah.
This individual is probably about 60 feet away from us. We're basically going in the opposite direction of this person.
Okay. I am going to, in a quiet voice, tell you,
Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm
Okay.
going to follow a
You can
suspicious person.
clearly look as my spell continues to do its little searching that it is not reacting to him.
Okay. I'm going to say I'll be back. I'm going to follow a suspicious person. And I'm going to do something I haven't done. Actually, I
I give you as you leave. I give you the third negative reading to my spell
wait,
because you're heading off.
I'm going to use, just in case this person's paying attention, I'm going to use a meta magic point,
Ah,
and I'm going to subtle spell cast invisibility on myself
right.
as I pass over a building, so no one's really paying attention.
All right. So you obscure yourself. You, for the first time in quite a while,
Yep.
you get in touch with the field of magical energy that permeates reality,
Yep.
and using your knowledge of its mechanics and its understanding, you tweak your spell just a little bit to be discreet enough as you take out your wand, and you vanish with into silence and just are gone.
This is as I'm going over a building, so I'm not
Yes,
in sight of anyone.
you're able
And
to do that.
right,
Your owl is still visible, obviously.
not anymore. Oh
Oh,
no, wait a minute. No, I'm gonna cast it at third level, and we're both gonna be invisible.
all right, so you can cast a third level,
Yep.
and now you're both invisible.
And we're going to follow this person flying.
Flying, yes. All right.
Owls are perfectly silent when they fly.
Yes. Now, because you are breaking line of sight with presumably this individual,
Yep.
you are losing track of this individual briefly.
Yep.
So I would like you to roll a fresh perception check, and I roll a fresh stealth check.
Okay.
You have your owl's advantage, though.
22.
Beats their 6.
I was worried there. I tell you. I've been rolling really bad tonight.
It was too good not to do because it made sense. However, as you pass by, the you see them walking the same as they have. There are people about. They're not really like sneaking, but they're trying to blend into the crowd a little bit. I'm going to just see if looks over her shoulder up to where you would be, doesn't see you, and just continues on.
When he's looking up,
Yeah.
do I recognize him? Is this following the description of Hector?
No, and he is not an elf of any type. He is human.
All right, I'm gonna follow him.
He's definitely not well off. He's definitely someone who you is definitely on the lower end of the wealth curve, as you would expect.
Yep.
Probably even worse off than the commissioner you mentioned. He's probably someone who has worked his entire life out here in the suburbs.
Does he look weather worn, like as someone who works outside, or does he look like some sort of merchant?
Not a merchant. He's definitely someone who's worked for a living, and the living hasn't necessarily been kind to him.
All right. Okay.
Because you rolled a 22, you said?
Yep.
You do notice that underneath his clothes, you suspect that he has a bit of armor, possibly. Probably just some sort of leather armor.
Yep.
And you think you might see what might possibly a weapon or two about his person. So someone
All
who can
right.
defend himself.
I've met thieves before. Does it kind of fit the stereotype?
I'm going to say this will be insight. Check here.
14. No, sorry, I don't have insight. 11.
11. Uh, you imagine a professional thief or rogue would be a bit better at this. The word that comes to mind is less rogue or thief or bandit, even, but more thug or someone who would possibly like someone who can handle themselves in a fight and is not necessarily on the better side of the law, but is not a professional, you would think.
It's not a good one.
Yes, because
Right.
he's definitely not rolling well on stealth.
Okay. No, I gotta keep following them.
Okay, that was just a roll for my spell. You don't know this time, though. The result this time, though.
Yes, but you have message, don't you?
I do have message, but it's got a range of 120 feet.
Oh, well, that's not happening.
No.
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
didn't even wake up Tobias.
All right. So you are following this individual.
Yep, that's my plan. Until it proves to be pointless.
He's taking a slightly more effort to conceal himself in the crowd a little bit,
Yep.
but it's still more would be considered social stealth as opposed to like actually crouching in shadows and going from corner to corner, that sort of thing. He's
Okay.
just trying to blend in a little bit. He's doing a better job of it, but you have a very good close eye on him at this point.
Yeah. I don't want to lose them.
No, it is. It would take an incredible role on his part to do that at this point, and that was not it.
Okay.
All right,
Where is he heading?
he's heading to the northern end of, sorry, the upper, towards the top of the map. You can scroll up a little bit if you want. As I said, he's heading in the opposite direction I am currently.
All right.
All right, and as you follow him, this has taken about probably close to 5 minutes at this point.
Yep.
You've been watching him. He's definitely heading somewhere with a purpose at this point after seeing us.
Okay.
And he goes towards a what is basically a bit like a cross between a tavern and an inn, kind of similar to the Crested Kingfisher.
Yep.
It's one of the nicer ones out here in the suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still probably of slightly lesser quality than what's inside Lyria itself. In
Okay.
fact, you recognize this tavern.
Well, is this the one we were at with the wild magic guy?
No, this is where Bree's friend, and quite possibly Bree herself, were staying, and we just found that trap with the crossbow set up in her room.
Oh.
You look at the sign, it is called the Fireside Newt Tavern.
Okay.
And he goes up to the door and goes in.
All right. I am going to land. I'm going to have my owl on my shoulder. And I am going to. Is there a window?
Yes, there are a few windows on the
I am
first and
going
second
to
floor.
look through the window and see what he's doing.
All right. So you go to the window. He's not very subtle at this point. He goes up to someone at the tavern and he is talking to them and he makes a gesture to a set of stairs you see
Yeah.
and the basically one of the staff nods and waves him to go on up. It says, and he heads on up to the second floor.
Okay. As he's heading towards there, is anyone entering or leaving the building at this point? The tavern.
All right, let's see. No, that is a definite no. That was a natural one on that roll.
All right. I I have two choices. I could
Yes.
take a chance and just peer through windows like a peeping Tom
Yes.
and hope to hit the right one. Or I can open the door and sneak in. I'm gonna go open the door and sneak in.
All right. So you're going to land at this point, obviously.
Oh no, I already landed.
Yes. You have to, all right. So this is going to be. I'm going to break this down into two rolls, two stealth checks.
All right.
You have a broom you have to put away.
Hey.
Yeah, and you have to put it in your bag of holding, and you're currently sitting in slushy.
Well, I'm not gonna put the broom away.
All
That's gonna take too much time. I was gonna hang on to it.
right, you are currently standing in slushy snow.
I thought it was on isn't there like a veranda or a porch or something in this place, or it just goes straight into the slush?
There is a porch, yes, and there is indeed like a outcropping over it, basically.
Yeah.
It keeps the rain and snow off.
Yep.
Anyway, either way, you have to roll. You're gonna need to roll a stealth check to go in here.
Yep.
So roll your stealth check. You are invisible, but
Oh, do I get advantage on this then? Because I'm invisible?
I'll say due to circumstances, advantage and disadvantage would cancel out because you are opening a door as an invisible person, and you're leaving some slushy footprints, possibly. So I think circumstantially, no, you just have a straight roll.
Okay, that would be a 15.
That is well above passive perception. I will see if anyone is paying attention. All right. So you open the door
Yep.
and you go in.
Yep.
The bartender looks up, sees the door swing closed, and doesn't see anyone there, and looks confused.
Okay. I'm gonna ignore him.
Look, stares for about 10 seconds at this, and just goes, "Ugh." It's like, just rubs his eyes. Clearly, he thinks that he clearly has come to the decision that probably someone left and the door swung closed. You seem to have made it past that.
All right, up the stairs I go.
Yes. You are now in a relatively busy tavern, invisible, heading for a flight of stairs. So I will ask for a dexterity check for this. Not too high, but there is going to be a possibility. You're also navigating with a broom.
Well, I was gonna hold the broom against me, but yeah, that's
Yes.
fine.
It is still something that is long and might collide with something.
This is a straight dex check.
Straight dexterity, yes.
13.
All right. All right, you're able to make it to this flight of stairs without any incidents.
Okay.
All right, you're going. Oh, there is also a graphic for this. I just remembered.
Oh.
Next one, yeah. There you
This
go.
one?
This is the tavern as you're entering,
Okay.
just to give you a bit of an idea of what it's like.
All right.
All right,
Up the
so
stairs.
these are the stairs down here in the
Oh,
corner
okay.
there.
Up the stairs I go.
Up the stairs you go. Okay, we'll just leave it on this for the moment.
Okay.
All right, this took a little while.
Well, I started doing this as I saw him do and then started heading towards the
Yes.
stairs.
And you had to go in with a bit of stealth, which is not quick, which means he's got a bit of a head start.
Yep, that's fine.
So I'm going to just roll. Yeah. So you reach the top of the stairs. There is no sign of him in the hall at this point. Basically, there's a corridor which is vaguely similar to ours, and there are 10 doors in total, 5 along each side, leading into
Okay. He
rooms.
came out of the slush.
Yes.
Wet footprints.
You can search for those. Yes. This would be perception or survival, your choice.
I have survival.
Survival.
I have an owl. Owl has perception, so advantage or greater plus. I'll go for the advantage.
It's up to you. Whichever you want.
21.
21. It is not difficult to find slushy footprints and wet footprints, despite the fact that probably a lot of other people have come through here recently.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, you find the freshest footprints with the aid of your owl's enhanced senses, and they go to the third door on the left wall.
Okay. I
That
go to
is
the
your.
door.
Yeah,
Is there a keyhole for me to look through?
there is.
I'm gonna stick my owl's eyeballs up to it because she has much better sight than I have in the dark and possibly dim light.
All right. So this is a perception check. It's going to be modified slightly by the fact that your owl's looking through a keyhole, but not by much. But you still have advantage.
Well,
12. Okay. That's probably enough to get a bit of a view, so you can move ahead to the next graphic if you want. All right. So there's the door. It's closed, despite what it shows
oh,
there.
okay.
All right. So this is vaguely similar to our room, except
Yeah.
it's a bit lower grade. All right. So with that, you see the room.
Occupants.
There are two occupants. You're always able to move a little bit. There's someone sat at the desk, and then there is the person you have been following, who is talking to the person who has turned around, basically sat at the chair, and they're discussing at this point.
Okay, quickly, I have a DM question here.
Yes.
If I unsummon my owl and resummon my owl on the inside of the room, will she still be invisible?
You are maintaining concentration on the spell. I will say yes, but I will give the two individuals in the room a perception check to see if they can detect your owl appearing, despite the fact that she will be invisible
Okay, I
if you
will do
want.
so
All right.
because I want her to be able to hear what's going on.
You don't have to do anything here. So you unsummon your owl and resummon her there. Perception. All right. So your owl reappears. I
Yep.
assume you're looking through her senses.
And hearing.
Yes. All right. So the individual you've been following does not seem to take notice of this at all.
Yep.
The other individual looks up for a moment and looks over in the direction that what just happened
Yep.
and seems to have noticed something. But similar to the bartender below,
Yep.
after noticing that there is nothing there, seems to dismiss it for the moment.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, this is the guy talking. Says, yeah, it was those two you told me to keep my eye out for. Says the two you said might be causing a bit of trouble for you. Says well, they're flying through the air. Says which is not something you see every day. So they're not being subtle about it. Says I think one of them might have noticed me heading off and might be following me here, but I lost track of him in the crowd. Says he might still have followed you here. You hear a relatively imperious and somewhat familiar sounding voice.
Um, this person elf.
Uh, it's a hooded individual.
Someone's wearing a hood indoors in their own room. Okay.
Yep. Make a. This would be a fresh perception check, I guess.
19.
19. All right. The voice sounds familiar, and the figure looks familiar, and so do the dark robes that this individual is wearing.
I recognize this person.
You do with that roll, yes. We've met this individual once before, traveling on the road towards Lyria, and it was at a particular manor we stayed at on our way here during a storm, and there was some mercenaries and a vampire, and this individual. You remember his name as being Reynard. He was a wizard, a necromancer, you believe, that we
Yeah.
previously encountered at the manor we stayed at. and he seems to be talking to this individual, and clearly is talking to him in a manner that clearly shows that he has a bit of authority over him.
So what I remember Reynard was that he was useful.
Yep.
He cast spells, and but he didn't. We didn't part company on any kind of negative.
No,
But
we did not. We fought together against his charmed former allies. You
hmm.
do know he was perfectly willing to cast hostile and destructive spells against them when they were charmed by a vampire.
Oh, he's not a nice guy. I
Yeah.
know that, but
Yes.
anyway,
And he was willing to animate their corpses to serve as minions to him.
yeah, it sounds
But
very
that
nice.
is about it.
Yeah. All right, I'll listen to the end of the conversation.
So,
And I want my owl to listen also for possible footsteps coming up because I am blind
yeah,
and
at the
deaf
moment,
at the
yes.
moment. So
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down cross-legged and look like I'm drunk or something. But
You are
uh,
invisible still.
yeah, I want to make sure that if someone comes up, that you know I know that they're there.
All right. Anyway, you also do know he is a wizard. So,
Yep, could easily set that alarm.
yes. And might twig to an invisibility spell in a familiar.
Oh yeah,
As not yet.
he's not an elf though, right? He's human.
He's human, as far as you remember.
Yeah. Okay.
But a wizard, so
Yeah.
he
Okay.
says, right, well, he says, like I said, you might be following me here. He says, I don't think he did. He says, but if you want me to keep keeping an eye on him, I'm more than willing to. Says, after all, you are paying me for those services. Says, yes, they have proven useful in the past. Says, however, from what I understand, they are setting themselves up very much as Lyria's champions at the moment. Says that might prove inconvenient. Says, I do not really wish them any harm. I just wish them they just do not wish to. Says I just wish to avoid any unnecessary confrontations with them at the moment. Says until my business here is concluded. Says yes. It says well. It says I'm more than happy to keep looking out for him. It says in exchange for continued remunerations. He says, not being very subtle with that comment.
Hmm.
Reynard looks annoyed, but acquiesces the fact that he has hired this individual.
Yep.
This is a business arrangement. He pushes the chair back, goes to the basically all rooms and inns have a chest like that, which is basically just like
Well,
a
locker, yeah.
trunk, basically.
Yeah.
It has a lock on it though, which you can keep valuables in if you want. Goes to it, takes out his key, goes in there, pulls out a relatively large bag of coin, you suspect.
When the chest is open,
Yes.
can my owl see inside it?
That will be a separate perception check, but you can try.
Another 22.
Another 22. You can see in there.
Eh,
There
uh,
are a series of personal belongings, traveling supplies. There's just a few things here. There are meals and plates on his
yep.
end table there. Clearly, Reynard here for a little while, at
Yep.
least for several days, and by looks of things has been staying in his room and eating here almost exclusively by looks of it.
Okay.
And you look in there, there's a variety of travel supplies. There's some other things, but the main thing in there is the coin purse. They sticking out. If you're looking for anything that would resemble a rolled up treaty or scroll or a scroll case or anything like that,
Yeah.
nothing catches your eye from that.
And nothing on the desk either.
The desk has a bunch of papers on it, and there's a quill set up. He looks like he was in the middle of writing something.
Okay. While they're in the chest and doing their little
Yeah.
exchange of coins,
Yes,
I'm
Raynard's
gonna
camping out at the moment.
have my owl go over, hop up on the desk,
Yeah.
and read what he was writing.
All right. I will ask for a stealth check from your owl.
Does he have? Does she have
Yes.
advantage on stealth?
No, but she has stealth.
Oh, that's a 2. Wait a minute, she's invisible. She gets a.
She does have
Master.
advantage because of invisibility, but this is.
Um, she has +3.
And second, I will bring up the owl stat block for a moment. She has +3 on stealth, yes.
13.
Okay, that is above most passive perceptions. I will just check. All right. With a degree of stealth and silence, the owl flies over to the desk and lands there.
Yep. What has he been writing?
All right, there are on one desk there is an open letter.
Yep.
There's also a knife there, so he's clearly opened it and has read it, and he's in the process of writing a reply by the looks of it.
All right. What does that letter say?
What languages do you know? Because you are
Common
common.
and halfling.
It is neither of those.
Do I recognize what script it might be?
You
Because
can make an
certainly.
intelligence check.
All right. 16.
16. Yes, that is enough. You recognize that the letter he's reading and the response he's writing are written in the same language, and that the languages are infernal.
All right. I wasn't expecting that. I was hoping it was going to be Elven. Uh, he's writing, got a letter in Infernal, and he's writing a response in Infernal.
Yes. It is, to be fair, just a language people know.
Yes. It is a language people know.
Yes. And as a wizard, he could just have studied it at some point. You know Halfling. I know Gnomish.
Yeah, I know happening because I grew up with Bree and her
Yes.
family.
It is, yes. Clearly there is this is something that he doesn't want just anyone to be able to read, though.
Yes. So, with that in mind,
You do
I'm
not
gonna
know comprehend languages.
I'm going to have my owl, as quietly as possible, pick up that letter in her beak.
At which point it will vanish.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to roll to see if Reynard notices this.
Okay.
Because the letter is vanishing. No, they are. What about the other guy? No, they are both thoroughly engrossed in what they're doing at the moment.
Anything else on this tabletop that's of interest?
Well, there's the letter you had her pick up, and which one were you picking up? The response to the letter.
The letter, his
Well,
response is
okay.
in the process. So,
There isn't much else that stands out on the desk at the moment, on the tabletop.
okay. Nothing that looks like a treaty. I know that we just stupid, but
All right, so now what are you going to do?
well, obviously my owl can't be popped out of existence and
You
keep that
can. The
letter.
letter will fall to the floor.
Yeah, I know. I want the letter.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have her move over to the door.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stand up and stand next to the door,
Yeah.
and I want her to, as quickly as possible, when this guy leaves, which I assume is going to be shortly. And
Yeah.
by the way, I'm going to be on the further down the hall side so that when he comes out, he doesn't go by me.
I
And I
understand.
want my owl, and I want my
You want
owl.
him to go down the corridor towards the stairs, and you want to be standing on the opposite side.
Yeah, and back far enough that he won't notice me. And as soon as he opens the door and goes through, I want my owl to follow.
All right, there's going to be a bit of finagling there, but you can try it.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
All right. Coin seems to have changed hands in this process.
yep.
Right. Well, let you go back to what you were doing. I'll go back out and keep an eye on them. It shouldn't be too difficult. They're flying through the air. And he says, Reynard says, "Do not underestimate these two." He goes back as he says, returning his basically his bag to the trunk and relocking it. It's at this point that the individual has gone to the door and unlocks it and opens the door. Is stepping out.
Zoom.
All right, roll for your owl to do this. This will be stealth, basically, for all intents and purposes.
17.
Your owl makes it out.
Okay. I take the letter
Mhm.
and I put it in my robes or my jacket pocket.
Mhm.
Slide it in my jacket. And I'm gonna have my owl pop out of existence at this point and reappear inside his room because I want to see if he notices.
All right, so that's going to take some time.
Yep.
So the individual exits the room, closes the door.
Yep.
You hear, hands the key back to Reynard, to close the door. You hear Reynard lock the door.
Yep.
At which point you resummon your familiar on the inside.
Yep.
All right. At which point I'm going to give him one more check. He clearly noticed something happened that time.
Okay.
Yeah, he clearly heard the sound of your familiar appearing.
Okay.
I was
I
looking at
didn't roll a stealth check for her though that time, did I?
You can roll stealth if you want.
Ugh, probably why. 11.
Looks right in the direction where your familiar is sitting invisibly.
I pop her out of existence.
All right. You might be able to react faster. I'm just going to roll. And it's going to. Well, basically, this is going to be a single round, but roll initiative for this.
Right. Oop. Point of luck.
Okay.
The 5 isn't going to cut it. Another point of luck.
You don't know what's going to happen yet.
Oh, there we go. 18 for my initiative.
All right. So that's your total, 18?
Yep.
He does get to react first.
Wow.
All
Burn luck.
right. So, in a quick session, what are you going to be doing? Well, the one good news I can give you is he isn't immediately hitting your owl with some spell because it's invisible. He is walking over to investigate what's going on. Let's see if he can figure that out. Please, the invest. No, that's. He seems to be trying to search the area and find out what's going on. Your
Yep.
owl is able to evade him just on basic principle,
Yep.
and you're able to pull your owl out.
Yep.
All right. You've lost any degree of visual you have on that room now.
I'm gonna head down. I'm gonna head along the
Yes.
to the stairs.
You're more than intelligent enough to realize that Reynard is more than intelligent enough to realize that the response to the letter, that the letter he was writing a response to has vanished.
Yeah.
And we'll in probably short order figure that out.
Yeah, I know. I was just waiting for a what? Where is that thing? And then him rushing out, but I'm gonna head down the stairs.
All right. Just going to have you roll a perception check here in a moment. Yeah, roll a perception check.
21.
You hear a basically not quite a scream, but just an alarmed voice from the room you just left. You think your time might be up.
How'd I go?
Out you go. All right, so you go down.
Yep.
So you can go head back
Oh,
and
yeah.
back out to Lyria now. Yeah.
Down here, out the
Yep.
door.
All right.
Hop on my broom and fly in the general direction that I've seen you.
You still see me flying around. It's not been an hour. I'm still looking down at my locate creature spell. And you do not see me making any real progress in that front.
I've come to a possible conclusion here, so I'm gonna
Yes.
fly up beside you and say, I'm here and I'm invisible.
Yes. All right.
And then I'm gonna fill you in on the details. And I'm gonna tell you I have a letter here written in Infernal that might possibly shed more light on this case. We need to go somewhere where you can cast Comprehend Languages.
All right, I can do that. Ritual casting comprehend languages will mean I lose concentration on this spell.
How much of the town have you covered so far?
Well, I've been flying around a little bit. This entire process took you probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I haven't picked up anything yet. I have
I
been rolling every single time, every few minutes there. I've not rolled above 5 on that.
I have a possible. I have a possible method that they think this happened. I don't think any high elves are involved.
All right.
I think some wizard, a wizard we know, which I've already told you about Reynard,
Yes.
has been using possibly disguised self to disguise himself as a high elf.
Yes.
But that's just a. I want to see what's in this letter.
Yes. All right. So, well, we cannot do that. Or like, not ritual cast the spell from the air. We have to go down somewhere to.
Yes.
And also, by from what you just described, we may not necessarily have that long because I assume Reynard is going to figure out relatively quickly that his letter is missing, and is probably gonna.
Well, yeah, already. He
Yeah.
already knows.
Yes.
So minutes are of import here. So we land.
Yeah, we land. I
Where
do not
are
have comprehend languages prepared. This has to be cast as a ritual.
where? Yeah. Well, is there a building nearby we can use?
There are several. What are we looking for, though?
Just a somewhere out of the weather,
Yeah.
where I can keep an eye out because I'm still invisible.
Yes. And also
And
probably somewhere that isn't directly viewable.
yeah, somewhere just like in the lee of somewhere in an alley. I'm gonna have my owl flying up high, invisible,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be invisible, stand in the street, and
All
you
right.
can cast your comprehend languages
Well, as
spell.
we've done this several times, I would like you to roll a survival check with my assistance as we look for such a place.
Survival will be 17.
All right. It doesn't take us too long to find an out of the way alley where I can ritual cast the spell. It's going to take 10 minutes for me to do that. Let's see if anything else happens in the meantime.
Yes, the problem is Reynard's a wizard, and we don't know all of his capabilities.
No. We do remember the last time we encountered him, he was relatively close in level to what we were, but that was a little while ago.
True, he could obviously have acquired more skills and more spells. He did not strike me as the espionage type when we met him,
Yep.
but he may have decided to earn his money a different way now.
Mhm. To be fair,
Anyway,
we do not know very much about him.
we know nothing about him other than the fact that he sort of joined sides with us for a
Against the
common
vampire.
threat.
Yeah, against a common enemy.
Yeah. But from what I heard from what he said to his flunky,
Mhm.
he's not specifically after us.
No, but you did say he wants to avoid us.
Yes.
All right. All right. So the 10 minutes for the spell goes by.
All right. And I rejoin
We are
you while
not
my owl
accosted by
circles,
anyone.
while my owl circles above.
Just for clarification, you cast invisibility, not greater invisibility.
Greater invisibility will only last a minute.
I know, I know. I'm just clarifying now. All
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I don't have. Actually, I don't even have greater visibility prepared.
right.
Yes, I don't think so. No.
All right. I'm going to
Read the letter.
hastily read the letter and looking for clues. That's good enough. Yeah, I've been rolling really badly.
You don't need a roll for comprehend languages.
No, I'm just basically scanning through the letter quickly, just for key
Why is
information.
it lengthy?
We're in a time. It's just because there is a bit of a time element at the moment.
All right. What does the letter say?
All right, I read through it. I said, well, this appears to have been written by someone in the Legion of the Iron Fist. a commander of theirs.
Okay.
And it is addressed to Reynard
Yeah.
specifically. According to near as I can tell from this, Reynard was commissioned by the Legion to enter Lyria, and it just says, well, it says procure the required item, is what it says. So it
Yeah.
doesn't come out and explicitly state anything
Yeah.
like that. And then basically wait a few days for everything to lay low. It says, at which point bring the item, it says, as securely as possible, bring it to our camp. It says, and our commander will reward you for your services. It says, be on alert for any of the Lyrian White Knights. It says, take precautions to avoid magical detection. It says, and particularly, it says, as we've heard rumors of the two wizards you mentioned in Lyria, take special care to avoid any unnecessary interactions with them, unless you believe that they can be recruited to assist you in this mission.
Huh.
Okay, and that's about it.
All right. The item could be anything.
True, there is nothing saying it is the treaty, but
But it's the only thing we know about. Nothing else has been mentioned as being missing.
yeah, I've been flying around. Locate creature came up completely empty. Nothing came of that. This is the mostly suspicious thing we've come to, especially taking into account that we've had two attempts to get into our room, one of which involved an alarm spell.
Yes. All fits into a wizard.
Mm.
But we only have one real option here, I guess.
All right.
We
And what is
have
that?
to break into his room.
All right, then. How are we going to go about doing that?
Well, I have a suggestion.
Right?
I'm invisible for a while.
Yes. About probably at this point, about half the time your invisibility spell has elapsed.
And he has been having room service for all intents and purposes. Because
Mhm.
he hasn't really, he's been laying low, according as the letter said. I have, and I brewed up that sleeping potion.
Ah,
Still have it, haven't used it.
no,
I could pour it into his drink.
you could. That requires you getting it into his drink.
Yes, and
It also requires him getting ordering room service.
yes, lots of ifs.
Lots of ifs.
That is a possibility. The other one is just knock on the door, show him the letter, and say, "Well, we don't agree with this," and then
Which
have him
will, in
fight.
all likelihood, result in a confrontation of some sort.
Yes, that'll be two against one.
Yes. In a public space, though.
True. Wouldn't be the first place he'd blown up.
No, but may not be the best place to throw fireballs around in.
Yeah, I wouldn't really throw fireballs with one individual.
He might.
He might.
I think I remember him being able to cast that spell last time we encountered him.
True. I could polymorph him into something innocuous.
You could.
Well, at the very least, we need to head to his hotel in
Yes.
Abode.
We're not too far from there at the moment. We can get there relatively quickly before your invisibility spell expires.
Yep.
However, he does have someone on the lookout for us.
Yeah, I know what he looks like.
Yes. We probably would want to avoid being spotted by him.
Well, I don't want to solo this because it may go south and I'll need your help.
Yep.
But he.
I do not have invisibility prepared. I do have invisibility potion, I think. There you have a potion of invisibility. I could drink that.
Yeah, I have two of them.
Yeah.
I thought we had more than that actually. But anyway, probably
If
forgot
you
to write
if
that
your
down.
intent is to sneak in and try and
Want to drug him?
yep, if that's your approach, we can use that if you want.
All right, that's all right. Let's do that.
Okay. I will drink the potion of invisibility. I too vanish.
All right, we'll have to hold hands or something as we head through the city and head towards his inn.
Yep. All right.
Do I spot his henchman?
Roll a perception check.
I do not.
What did you roll?
A 2 and a 3 plus 3.
You do spot him.
Oh God, seriously? A 5 beats him? Sorry, a 6 beats him?
Yeah, by two, but you still beat him.
Wow.
He is wandering around. He's trying to be more discreet than before, but he is still. He's also looking up. You notice. Doesn't seems to be a little annoyed that he can't see us anymore. All right. He is relatively between us and the inn, so we're gonna have to sneak past him.
Okay, we do so.
All right. So stealth check with advantage because we're invisible.
What'd you get?
What do you roll?
Oh, that doesn't sound good for you. 17.
10. So that averages out above passive perception. He is on lookout though, so we'll roll his own.
Yep.
We are able to sneak past him. We, I am leaving some footprints in the slushy snow. He may spot those at some point.
There's lots of
Yeah,
people
but that
coming.
may not amount to anything.
Yeah.
Just for the moment, it does not seem to be an issue.
All right, let's get to the inn.
All right, so we go inside the inn.
Yep.
We can go ahead to that graphic if you want.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, what's your plan?
Well, we're not in a rush at the moment, so
No.
we'll do is wait for someone to enter the inn,
Mhm.
and we'll just hold the door open for a few seconds so both of us can get through.
All right. We're waiting there 10 minutes for that to happen.
All right.
But we go through.
Yep.
So,
I only have about 15 minutes left on my.
yes, I've got about 45 minutes left on my potion.
Yep.
All right, so we're inside now.
Yep. And then up we go.
We go. All right, so we go to outside his room.
Yep.
I ask you, how do you plan on getting the sleeping draft into his well, he does have some unfinished meals there. You might be able to put it in some of that you mentioned.
The thing is,
It all involves us getting into this room.
what time of day is it now?
Afternoon.
So not likely to be eating a meal anytime soon.
This is assuming he's eating regular meals at all, and not just when he's hungry.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're a shut-in. You just sort of eat whenever you're hungry. Well, now Owl's still invisible.
Yes, for another 15 minutes. Your owl can be used to spy in there, but not much else. We have to get through that door somehow.
Yes. That is the problem. Gonna have a look through the keyhole, use my owl.
All right.
What's he doing?
He's quite frantically tearing the room apart.
All right, so he's trying to find something that's not there.
Yeah. And because he rolled a 1, you notice that he goes underneath his bed and is looking under there.
He's hiding the thing he stole underneath his bed.
You notice that he comes out with a section of floorboard and
Okay.
he's looking under there now.
So he's under the bed?
He's under the bed. A few moments later, he takes the floorboard.
Oh, hold on a sec. While he's under the bed, I'm gonna
Yeah.
whisper to you. He's under the bed. I think this is our chance to get in the room.
Okay.
So
I do have a scroll of knock if you want to open the door. Guaranteed, but I will become visible.
one of us will be invisible still.
Yes.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. All right. I will take out the scroll of knock.
Yep.
As a precaution to this, before I cast the spell, I will stand
Ways off.
out just outside the view of the door as it opens,
Yep.
just so I'm not immediately visible, but I will be after this. And I read this scroll of knock, and I cast a knock.
And I go
The door
quietly.
clicks, and you open it.
Yep.
Stealth check, please. He is distracted at the moment, so you still have advantage. He's in the process of putting the floorboard back, though.
Well, that'll be a 15. It's probably good enough, I hope.
Yeah. He seems distracted enough. Are you going to close the door?
Yes.
All right.
Not locked, of course.
What? He does not seem to notice. He seems thoroughly distracted.
Okay. Did he pull anything out from underneath the floorboards when he did this?
No, in fact, you see him just putting it back
All right,
underneath.
so he is check to see if something's there.
Yeah.
Now what is he doing?
He's standing up and looking around. He looks very frustrated, but you see, now he's checked that, his concerns are mollified a little bit.
Okay.
He seems to be calming down a little bit. But he's annoyed. He says, they're up to something. I don't know anyone else who would be able to pull this off.
What? Are we the only ones that can do stuff in this bloody world?
He
Seems to be blaming us for some
seems to be
reason.
blaming us. He rolled relatively high earlier, so
All right. Okay.
he says, not the worst of it. I might need to leave in a hurry, though.
Okay.
Says
What's he doing? Where is he standing?
he's standing by the bed.
So he's standing by the bed.
Other side, but yes. He's pacing back and forth at the moment. Coming to a decision. You by your internal clock, you know you have about 10 minutes of invisibility remaining.
Yeah.
If he paces around much longer, you will be visible.
It's okay. I can subtle spell out another invisibility. I only have one more point I can use.
Or you can drink one of the invisibility potions if you really want.
True.
However, there is going to be a chance that he'll notice you at some point because you are. Where are you standing in this room exactly? By the door, you said.
Well, I came in the room, so I was
Yeah.
standing here.
Yes, there is no real place for you to hide if you
No,
become
he's
visible.
standing there.
Yes. He's not really paying any real attention to you. All right. So those are windows, in case you're wondering, on the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dresser. He's got some end tables, the bed, the desk, and really under the bed or under the desk are your hiding spots if you want a mundane one.
Well, it's under the bed that I want, but he has to move away from the bed.
All right. So you're going to wait and see what he does then. All right. It's going to do some.
The other thing I want to pay attention to while he is pacing,
Yeah.
how much in the way are these floorboards creaking?
All right. That will be a perception check.
19.
All right. they're creaking a little bit as he paces back and forth there.
All right, I'm gonna wait.
All right. He paces back and forth and is muttering to himself and thinking to himself a little bit, and you are sweating a little bit because it takes him about 7 minutes of pacing back and forth before he goes over to the desk and is like, all right, I might as well at least finish this reply and let them know that I'm going to have to be heading out quickly to take matters
So
in my
he's
own
saying
hands.
this aloud.
Yes, he says that.
So while he's heading there and speaking aloud, I'm pointing at the screen. While he is heading this way and muttering to himself, I'm going to quietly sneak over to this side and crouch down beside the bed.
Stealth check. You have 3 minutes of invisibility remaining. I think this is the longest you've ever had this spell go on for.
Yeah. Ooh, good number. 25.
All right. Like
Oh,
a
wait.
silent, invisible cat.
No, 23. Sorry. I was adding the wrong number.
Still more than good enough. Like an invisible cat, you silently stalk over to the bed and crouch down underneath it. He's at the desk at this point, and he picks up his pen and the parchment he's writing on and starts writing again, much quicker now.
Okay, while he's concentrating on that, I'm going to
Yep.
have a look under the bed.
All right, you go into the bed.
So he has pried up a floorboard
It's
that I
back in place now.
and I spot it because he's pried it up once or twice.
Perception check.
18.
Yes, you spot it. It takes you a few seconds, but you do see it. There's a section of floorboard that is loose. You can try and take it up. All right. You rolled really high on your stealth check, so I'll allow you to be able to remove the floorboard as part of that.
Okay. My concern here is, has he put an alarm spell on this?
You have no way of knowing,
No, I do not.
I'm afraid. So I assume you want to at least see what's in there now.
Yes.
All right. You look in, you see there is a relatively long, thin box that appears that is down there. There's just a case with a lock on it.
Put him in a scroll tube, huh? Obviously, a rolled
Not
up parchment could easily fit in this thing, right?
obviously, yes, with room to spare. It could fit inside a scroll case in here with room to spare.
I am running out of time.
You are running out of time. You have under 3 minutes left at this point.
I can't cast the spell without becoming invisible.
No, you do not know detect magic anyway.
I know dispel magic.
Do you have it prepared?
No, but I have a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
I can't subtle spell a scroll, I assume.
Scroll lets you cast the spell. I'd allow it. It will be your last meta magic point. You will be visible.
I'll be under the bed.
If there's an alarm there, once again, dispelling it is just as good as triggering it.
Oh, that's true too. All right, I pick up the box.
All right. Did you think of this? He would have, yes. You hear him stand up from the chair slammed to the floor as he stands up in alarm as you presumably trigger an alarm, pulling out the box, which is heavy despite its size.
All right, shove it in something.
All right, you shove it into your bag of holding and stand up, I assume.
Yeah.
All right. Reynard is now facing the direction, doesn't see anything, but is well aware something has just happened. And we are going to be rolling for initiative.
Yeah. He made a lot of noise there, but even still.
Yeah, I will see what happens on my initiative count. All right. So what is your initiative?
And
All right. Okay. That's right. You have 87 hit points.
yeah. So what is Reynard's initiative?
15.
How about you?
I have a 9.
All right.
And you are invisible.
And heading towards the door.
Not yet.
That's my plan.
Yeah. You're invisible.
So he's currently standing here with
Yeah.
a knocked over chair, and I'm standing here invisible.
Yes, he just stood up.
Yeah.
You have 2 minutes of invisibility remaining, which means you have 12 rounds of invisibility remaining.
Yeah,
For what that's worth.
it's immaterial at this point.
All right. Top of the combat round. Well, we have Reynard.
Yep. What's it going to do?
That is a good question.
Run over to see what's wrong?
Yeah, you are intelligent enough to realize that something is going wrong.
Oh, his alarm went off. Something triggered it.
Yes. All right. You are invisible.
Yep.
He's intelligent enough to figure out that probably an invisible individual has reached under his bed, under the floorboards, and taken out the case he put there.
Not necessarily. Could have been a rat. I don't know what he has as a trigger for the spell, so.
Anyway, that's not important.
Nope.
Yeah, no, can't do that. You might do that. You might start with something a bit smaller.
I gotta fireball the room, I know that.
Now, he does bring up his hand, and a mote of flame appears there, and he throws it in your direction. It's a very familiar spell that you've cast since you were an apprentice wizard.
Firebolt?
Yes. In your direction, at disadvantage because you're invisible.
Yep.
Alright, so that's the lower number. Your armor class is a 14.
Yep.
That's a 13 to hit. You feel it go literally right by. You're worried that some of your hair might get singed a little bit as the firebolt goes right by and slams into the dresser opposite the room.
Alright.
Alright, that is 2d10 fire damage. Does the dresser... What's the dresser will take?
Does not survive.
Well, it's on fire. And yes, you can recognize the spell as it goes by. It's at the same level of skill level with Firebolt as you have.
Well, all it means is
He's at least 5th level.
yeah, it doesn't really say anything.
No.
But we assumed he was already 5th level before because he cast Fireball.
Yes, and anime dead.
Yeah.
Alright. The dresser is on fire.
I have a question.
Mhm.
My ring currently allows me to cast shield spell? Or
Yes, it
does
is
it
cast.
it's not the same as an activation word? Do I become visible if I did that? Is what I'm trying to say.
Alright, this all depends on wording here. So I'm going to ask you specifically, what did you wanted this to use charges to cast the shield spell?
Uh, I'm pretty sure I probably would have said it that way. Yeah.
Yes, since we haven't really clarified that, we will probably do that going forward. I will say that that is what it'll be because that is what most magic items allow you to do, that do those sorts of things.
All right. Here's a question: If my wand of magic missiles, if I use that, do I become visible? It's an
Cast it.
attack.
The magic item lets you cast the spell. It's still
All right.
casting a spell.
That's
Also, with the
fair.
magic missile, regardless, you're doing harm to something.
Yeah. All right. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Anyway, he missed with the firebolt. He's going to move 30 feet towards the door and just standing there trying to put himself between the door and the area he threw a firebolt at.
The dresser.
Well, by the bed, basically.
All right.
That's his round. We come to you.
Well, first thing I do is I'm going to move away from where I was.
Are you going to do this stealthily?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm only going to move 15 feet.
You could technically dash to move 30, but you will need to roll a stealth check against his active perception now.
No, I'm going to just move the 15.
To start with? All right.
And that would be a 22.
He does not seem... He does not follow you, like, track you with his eyes as you move. He's still looking in the direction where you were standing. You could move again if you want, without rolling a further check with that roll. Or do you want to do something else?
So he's standing right in front of the door.
He didn't make it quite to the door, but he's standing between you and the door at this point.
Alright, so he is standing roughly here then, right?
Yes.
15 feet brought me where? Just tell me to
15
stop.
feet probably brought you to about there. 15 feet will not get you to the door past him because you're going to have to move on an angle.
I'm going to move towards, as far as I get towards this wall.
Alright, basically you're going to be perpendicular with that window.
Alright, so I'm
Okay,
going
parallel to the window.
here.
Right about there, yeah.
Right, so I'm going to move to here, and he's here,
Yes.
and then I'm going to stop and wait.
Alright, that's your turn. Alright, we come to me now.
Are vaguely aware of stuff happening.
Yes. I'm going to see how aware I am now. This is going to be a perception check, basically just me listening to what's going on. I've been rolling badly. That's a 9.
I have a suggestion, but I can't give you the suggestion.
Yeah. I heard the desk. I heard something fall to the floor.
When you heard a firebolt going off.
I basically, based on how
Oh,
low I
sorry.
rolled, yeah, I heard the chair fall.
You heard something.
I heard something. I do not know. Yep. With that roll, I'm going to say I'm indecisive enough that I still think you might be able to pull this off, and I don't want to throw any more factors into this at the moment. I will, I pass my turn.
Right.
We come back to Reynard.
I assume the window's closed, right?
The windows are closed, yes. All right. What are you going to do now?
Well, if I were to do a dive through the window,
Yes.
would I fit?
Roll a perception check at disadvantage. Because I assume you're just glancing out of the corner of your eye as the thought occurs to you.
I suppose I am keeping an eye on him more than anything else.
Yeah.
18.
Yes, you could. You will take damage as you fly through the window if you can break it.
And then falling damage.
And then falling damage because you're on the second floor. You might lose invisibility, and you're going to notice a window shattering.
Yeah, I know.
But that's all. But that is an option you have when we come to your turn.
Just thinking ahead.
Yeah. He's going to throw another firebolt at where you were.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have anything else. You're getting into the feeling at this point that he does not have Dispel Magic prepared.
Oh, yeah. I'm positive now.
Yeah. It hits a wall, smashes into the wall. It doesn't catch fire, fortunately, but the dresser is on fire, and there is smoke starting to whatever linen is inside the dresser, as well as the wooden frame, are burning quite well.
Cool. This is going to cause a problem for him here shortly.
He moves so that his back is to the door.
Okay.
So he's standing back to the door, and that's about it. He can't walk it at the moment, but I think that's going to be his next idea. We come to you.
Well,
If you abandon stealth, you can probably make it out the window and then fall.
see, the thing is, there's two things happening here. His room is on fire.
Yes. The dresser is on fire.
That fire is going to spread.
Not quickly, but yes. Not quickly in initiative, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a few rounds before
Yes.
that actually becomes an issue. I'm just going to stand still for this particular round. Not going to do anything.
Alright, you pass your turn.
Yep. Just going to stand there, watch him melt down, watch the dresser burn.
Yep. Alright, we come to me. There was another spell cast in here. $13 this time. Going in the right direction. Alright, I heard that. That I would have heard.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there's combat going on.
Smoke
now.
by this point.
I can smell the smoke. I heard the rush of flames. I hear fire kindling in the room. He is standing his back to the door now. Alright.
Oh, I have another suggestion, but I can't say it to you.
No, you can't. Alright, I'm gonna try and kick the door in.
Door's not locked.
Door's not locked. It is knocked. So he probably has figured out the door is probably not locked at this point, but he used his action to throw a firebolt.
Oh, I wish I could talk to you.
Unless there's something else I want to do, I'm just going to quickly look over my spells. I don't think there's much else. I really want to do... No. Yeah, I'm going to kick the door in. Or, the door does open inwards, so I'm going to try... And he's standing next to it, so once I realize that the door isn't opening on its own because he's standing there, this is going to be a strength contest between two wizards.
Yeah, this should be funny.
So you know what my strength is. You don't know what his strength is.
No, I don't know what his is. No.
This could be interesting. Alright. I attempt to struggle with the door, but it manages to just... Two not very strong people are struggling with this door at the moment, and Reynard is managing to keep it closed by a 1. He rolled a 6, I rolled a 5. We both have -1 strength.
Alright.
He's aware that I'm here now, but someone is trying to get into the room. He probably is aware. We put two together, and then it's me.
Not necessarily, because the room's on fire.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I failed to do that, so we come to the round. My other alternative was just dimension door in, which seemed like a bit of a waste.
No. Yeah. So far, things are relatively controlled.
Yes. Yes, the dresser is very much on fire.
Yeah.
Alright. He's holding the door closed at this point. He's going to... Alright, there's going to be another strength contest. He's going to try and get shut enough that he can lock the door. I rolled a 19 -1, 18. He rolled a 19 -1 for 18. Reroll.
Door's not going anywhere.
I'm going to reroll because it's just the easier thing to do. So after a bit of a struggle that probably takes most of the round, he is able to get it closed, and he fits the key into the lock and turns it. Just
Eh,
you succeed on the reroll. That's his entire round. Your turn.
that's my turn.
Yes.
Yep,
The door is now locked. You know that.
that's fine. I am going to dive out the window.
All right. This is not stealthy. There's no way you can do this stealthy.
Nope.
So you run out the window.
Yep.
I feel like there should be a check for this, but I don't know what it is.
Probably dexterity, I assume. Because I am just trying to aim myself because
Roll dexterity. We'll go with that.
my mass is strong enough to shatter the window.
Yeah.
How much damage it takes is entirely
This
up
is
to
going
you.
to be based on your aim and speed, I guess.
Straight dex check will be a 15.
All right. You run. You leap at the window. You bring your arms up in front of your face to prevent most of the glass from hitting you there.
I have a leather helmet. That's a leather helmet. I have a leather hat I wear.
Yep.
And then going through the
You
window.
go through the window. Reynard is well aware that you go through that someone goes through the window. The
Yep.
window shatters.
Yep.
All right.
And I fall 20 feet to the ground.
First, you take 2 points of slashing damage from the glass.
Yep.
Roll a concentration check for invisibility.
That's a natural one, which I will re-roll.
You are only invisible for 10 more rounds, by the way.
No, I want to stay invisible. I don't want him to see me. Once
Okay.
I'm outside, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I become visible.
All right, so you become
Oh,
visible.
sorry. Yeah, I rolled a 5 plus 4, right?
Yeah, so the base DC is 10.
Yeah.
So you become visible. As you fall 20,
As I'm going through the window.
as you go through the window, you become visible. He sees that, and now you're going to take falling damage as you fall 20 feet.
Yeah.
And you hit the ground, make a dexterity check. You might be able to mitigate some of this damage. It's not too far to fall.
10.
You fall prone, and you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Okay.
That's your turn.
Do I have enough movement left to stand up?
No.
Okay.
Afraid not. Alright, I definitely heard that.
Yep.
The door is locked anyway.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the ground, right?
Yes.
Outside the window. I start yelling fire.
Right, you yell fire. The smoke has not quite reached that window yet, but I'm going to see if anyone... Yeah, you came hurtling through a window and fell 20 feet. People are aware you're there,
Yeah. And I'm yelling
including Reynard's lookout. And they can hear you shouting fire, and that's as far as you've definitely gotten people's attention at this point.
fire. Yep.
And I heard that too.
By the way, that's what I wanted you to yell when you're on the other side of the door. Fire! Fire!
I only heard, yeah.
I know, I couldn't say anything because I was invisible and trying to be quiet.
Unfortunately, that didn't occur to me at the time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Alright, not that you can tell this, but I'm going to leave the door. I'm going to use my movement to run down and my action to dash to get to the bottom floor. And you hear a second cry of fire in a familiar voice
Yeah.
from inside the building. Clearly, panic is starting to spread.
Yeah.
Alright. You see Reynard come to the window, look out, and down and see you. And it's just
Oh,
massively
oh,
annoyed.
oh. It's dark.
It's not the evening. It's the afternoon.
That was like late afternoon and it gets dark around 4 at this time of year.
Alright, let's see if he can spot you. You are lying on the ground.
Yep.
With the heap. Alright, this is... He's looking around. He sees something lying on the ground in a heap, but you don't know if he doesn't know it's you.
Well, he hasn't yelled out my name anyway.
Yeah. All right. He wasn't moving quite. Yeah, you can. He still has time to do an action. Or prone.
Disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Well, he doesn't have disadvantage on this, I'm afraid. You can just bear. He doesn't know. He can make you out. He doesn't know it's you, but he can see you, which is all the spell needs. He brings up his hand, and 3 glowing darts appear that shoot down. We've seen a few different types of magic missile. These ones are these kind of weird, almost sickly green darts that almost look like a cross between liquid and vapor. You've never, but
I don't really want to get hit by this thing. I'm going to try a shield.
all right. So you use
Cast
your
shield
reaction and a charge from your ring to cast shield.
Yeah, reaction.
All right, so you bring your hand up and you trigger the ring for the first time using it.
Yeah.
This, and as the darts come flying down, you're like, I hope this works because those look a little weird. They splash against the vibrant, shimmering field of energy that shimmers into existence as they impact the shield and then vanish. He does have enough of a look at you now from the glow of the 2 spells to know that it's you.
Oh, come on!
However, those were just magic missiles, and your shield spell protected you.
Yeah. I should have taken the should have just taken the damage.
Yeah, it wasn't very high. Your turn.
I get up.
Yeah, half your movement gone.
Cast invisibility.
Not worrying about
Anything.
what? All right, you're casting invisibility.
Yep.
All right. You at what level are you casting invisibility? You should cast invisibility, assuming just at 2nd level.
Yep.
All right. He brings his hand up, and there is a flash of that same sickly green energy.
Yep.
Your spell is countered.
Oh, he's countering my spell.
Yes, he does counter your spell unless you have. I don't know what's being cast. Do you have counter spell prepared?
No.
No. Your invisibility spell is countered.
As a bonus action, I drink a potion of invisibility.
All right. Yep. You are invisible, and that does not require concentration.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. You have 15 feet of movement.
I walk 15 feet away just in case.
Which way are you moving? Away from the inn?
I'm gonna head towards the wall and then head along the wall.
Okay. So you're heading towards the door, basically.
Yeah, I'm heading towards the front end of where you would probably most likely come in.
Yes. By the way, you can smell the smoke at this point.
I can smell it. Actually, I probably can't because I was in the room where it was burning.
Yeah.
So my nose is probably full of smoke.
Yes, but you know what I mean. Like you can see there's a smoke coming out. Clearly, he has not taken care of the fire in that room at all.
So I'm gonna go around to the front of the building and wait for you.
All right. The door to the tavern bursts open as a good number of people start exiting in a hurry. You can hear my voice saying, "Fire! Fire! There's a fire spreading upstairs. We need all to get out of here. Let's alert someone. We need water to put the flames out." Yeah. People can smell it now, and even with that roll, which is good, more than good enough, I'm able to persuade people that there is a fire, and that they need to, or the inn is going to catch fire. We need to get some way of putting it out, despite the fact that I can just snap my fingers and do that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
All right, top of the round, we come to Reynard.
Now, have you exited the building at this point, or you didn't have enough movement for that?
I didn't have enough movement. I'm basically halfway through there, and I'm urging everyone else to leave. But you can see me at this point.
Right.
So it seems to be working.
Right.
It's probably going to take me another round to get out of here, though.
Confusion helps.
Yes. You hear Reynard mutter a curse from above. And then you hear him say a spell.
Yep. Do I recognize it?
Roll a Arcana check.
20. 30.
Yes, it is quite similar to a spell that you've cast today, and you've cast the spell before. This is Greater Invisibility.
Oh. Wow.
He's obviously gone now. And he's nowhere near the... You've also moved far enough away that you can't hear anything going on in the room, apart from the fact you can see smoke coming out, and you can probably maybe hear the flames. There's a distant kindling at this point. He's turned invisible. You think he might be using the confusion as a way to get out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone has taken an interest again in what we were doing.
That's fine. It's your turn.
I move away from the door sufficiently that I won't get run over.
You have 30 feet of movement. That is not difficult at all.
Yeah.
You can move across the road to another building if you really want.
Yeah.
You put your back to it.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
All right, you do that.
Wait for you to come out, and I'm going to signal you.
All right, all right, we come to my turn, which is probably going to be the final round of this combat because it's not really combat anymore. In a short order, a bunch of people exit the building, of which I am a part of. And a lot of people are saying, we have to get someone go to the river, get buckets to the nearest well. We need water, put the flames out. It says,
What river?
no, well, this is the ocean, I guess. They're just saying, get water to the nearest well.
Yep.
All right. At this point, we are dropping out of combat because there is no combat.
Yep. I signal you.
You're invisible.
I say something.
Okay. So you come up to me, and alert me, yes?
Yep. Over here, Raynard's turned invisible with greater invisibility.
As you say that, I take out from my component pouch a pinch of powdered sulfur, and I think... Hang on one second. What is the material component for the spell?
What are my components for see invisibility?
A small mixture of talc and powdered silver.
Yep.
I will cast see invisibility. I basically trace a circle in it with the material components, and it glows like a lens for a moment before my eyes go brightly. Like, all right, now it's not going to help them now. I can see you now.
Yep.
Obviously. That spell has a very limited duration, I say.
Yes. He is not going to be able to keep that up for very long at all.
Are we confronting him?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
The problem is there'll be collateral damage. There's lots of people here.
All right.
And
Are we waiting to see if he exits the building? Or are we just going?
He may not have our ability to restrain himself. So I think we should just leave.
All right. I'm going to keep... See invisibility is not concentration, and it lasts for an hour.
Okay.
So I'm going to have that for the next hour.
Okay. Well, now you can actually see me. I don't have to...
I can just follow you.
Yeah.
Yes. I keep looking back as we leave, and I say, he's not coming out yet.
Keep an eye out for his flunky, too.
Yeah. All right, we can both make perception checks for him if you want.
Unlikely with an 11.
All right, I have a 16. I think I spot him over there, but it's in the distance. Clearly, he's taking advantage of the confusion just as much as we were. If you want to run him down, we might be able to.
Don't want to run him down. I want to avoid him.
He is, like most hired goons, he's read the room, and his survival instincts are telling him not to get involved in this.
Take his money and cut his losses.
Yeah, he is making like everyone else and acting like a good citizen, running off to find water to put the fire out with, and you suspect he's not coming back, though.
One moment.
Okay.
Nope. He's just meow. Hold on a second.
Yeah, it's a problem with cats. Sometimes they don't like being confined.
What? No, he just wants to play.
Well, see if you can entertain him a little bit. We're not going to be here much longer. Or just ignore him.
Yeah. So it's gonna come down to, I think. All right. Pop on our brooms. Once we're out of eyesight of the flunky,
Yeah.
fly back to the city.
All right. So, all right.
Hard to ignore him. He just jumped in my lap again.
That's fine. Just entertain him, pet him, and entertain him a little bit.
I will.
All right. I say to you as we leave, I did not see Reynard exit that building, but I assume there's other ways in and out of there. And he would probably know another way out.
Yeah, he can cast spells and get out of there. So,
yeah.
Anyway, not a problem.
All right. So we are flying back to Lyria.
What's in this? All right. I'm going to wait a few minutes because it's only going to take a few minutes. You have Dispel Magic prepared? Oh, actually, he probably doesn't have it on the case. There's an alarm spell involved here.
I do have Dispel Magic prepared, yes.
All right. Never mind.
No? Okay.
Actually, no. Just cast a spell magic on this thing. For this spell, the effect I want you to dispel is alarm.
All right. I wave my hand and I create that blue shimmering field of abjuration magic I use for both dispel magic and counterspell.
Yep.
So I don't think it dispelled anything.
Yeah, I kind of figured maybe it was just on the area where it was.
Mhm.
But always a good idea to double check because
I can cast detect magic when we're in a more agreeable area if you want me to search for other spells.
unlikely, but yeah.
There's nothing invisible on it, I can tell you that. It's the only spell I have active at the moment.
um, I open up the case.
It's locked, as I said.
No.
It's going to be very difficult to pick a lock on a broom. I suggest we wait.
Yeah.
All right. So we reach Lyria in the insides of the city and land down long before your invisibility potion where it runs its course.
That's an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to remain invisible?
I don't know. It doesn't really matter, I guess, at this point, but I might as well. I'll stay invisible.
All right.
You can see me, so that's all that really matters.
Yes, I can. Because you're going to be invisible for slightly less time than my spell is going to last.
Yeah.
And I say to you, I suggest we return to an area that we have a degree of control over and examine this thing.
All right. I do not suggest we go to our hotel room because Reynard, I assume, knows where that is now.
You want to go to the council chambers then?
Yeah.
Right. So we go to the council chambers. Are you going to remain invisible still?
Oh, no, I'll become visible at this point.
Right. You cast some minor spell that breaks your invisibility.
Yeah.
All right, we go in. All right. Are we going to flag down Aldrich or Thalia?
Not yet, because we don't know what's in this thing.
All right. So we go in.
Yep.
And we ask, what do we ask them for, basically?
Nothing. Just gonna tell some clerk we may have results here on this case. Just get out of the way, give us a desk, and you can cast dispel magic. No, sorry,
detect magic.
If there's anything like if there was a glyph on here, it would have been ruined by the
a glyph doesn't. Well, yeah, glyphs and warding don't work that way. We've established that.
Yep.
But there are plenty of other protection spells that could be on here.
Yep. So just make sure there isn't anything that's going to cause a problem.
All right. 10 minutes later is plenty for me to ritual cast detect magic because I have no choice.
Yep.
If ever prepared, it's long enough for other people to gather, and they're probably, and basically word is getting out that we might have something, and people are busying themselves while I work on that.
Yeah.
All right, I say there is an abjuration spell on the lock. I do recognize it. This has been wizard locked. An arcane lock has been placed on here. I can dispel it.
All right, cast a spell magic on it.
If I still had the knock scroll, I could cast knock on that, but that's not an option.
Nope.
All right. I cast dispel magic. The arcane lock vanishes. That does not unlock the case.
I will pick the lock.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Roll for it. Yeah, my portents aren't any good to help you with that, I'm afraid.
Oh yeah, I'm out of luck. That will be dexterity check. So 14.
14. That is not high enough.
Then I will.
You can try again. The DC will go up, and you risk breaking your locks. Or you can try to physically break the lock.
What's it made of?
Iron, you assume.
The wood.
All right.
I haven't done that in a long time either.
All right. You use your alchemical magic to turn it into wood.
And then it's just a small piece of metal. Or sorry, now just a small thin piece of wood that I just
Yeah.
stick a dagger and snap.
All right. You're able to snap it open.
Yep.
By this point, a crowd of people have gathered, and if you didn't want to alert them, well, Lady Noelle has been summoned,
Yep.
as have Aldrich and Thalia, because it's clear that we might have something here.
I open up the case.
There is a scroll case inside.
I open up the scroll case.
The box, while wood, is lined with a metal.
Possibly. Well, with my
You're,
transmutation
you're an
magic.
alchemist.
Yep. Do I
You
know what it
recognize
is?
this as lead, and as a diviner, I recognize this as lead.
Yeah. And yeah. What's in the
You
scroll case?
open the scroll case. There is several rolled up sections of pages of parchment.
And does this, upon examination, turn out to be the treaty?
In short order, we're able to bring this out, and yes, it's several pages long.
Yep.
It isn't incomplete, but we have handed over Lyria's missing treaty to Lady Noelle, who is in charge of this.
Yep.
There is a round of applause, and at least a few people are calmed down that this search has come to its fruition. And clearly, we are called upon to provide some form of explanation.
Yes. Aldrich's here, right?
Yes, Aldrich and Thalia are both here.
I want to inform him that there is a wizard that we know the name of. We've run into him once before, and he's an necromancer.
We suspect.
We suspect.
He can cast necromancy spells.
Yeah. You cast necromancy spells, you're automatically a necromancer. It's just the way it is. You get labeled that way.
Yeah. Yes, he might also be an actual necromancer.
Yeah. By the name of Reynard. And we have the letter from the Legion.
You have the letter on you still.
Yep, I hand that over as well.
Yeah.
And I let him know that they have taken an interest.
That the Fireside Newt Inn is currently on fire.
No, whatever.
It might be being doused at this point.
Yeah.
But one way or the other, yes.
Oh.
All right. At this point, Aldrich says, and Hector, the missing civil servant?
No idea.
Neither. We both point out that
we did not get to that part of it yet.
We know he wasn't in Reynard's room.
No.
Yeah, there was no mention of him. No. So
he did not talk about him. He was not mentioned in any of the conversations.
Yeah.
We do know where a henchman of his is. We can go and get him.
Possibly. You might but we know roughly where he is.
Yes, but we've seen him. So locate creature will definitely track him down.
Yes.
And he will be easy to apprehend.
Yes. Once we also provide them with a description, any other wizard who knows that spell could do it.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
So you want to do that immediately?
Yeah. Can you cast a spell still?
I've only cast one second level spell, now with see invisibility. Yes, I can cast it.
All right, we're gonna go do that now, and hopefully his henchmen may have known something about what happened to Hector.
All right. Aldrich and Thalia are coming with us as we head out
Oh,
because this is just to speed
just
this along. Clearly, the tree is being looked after.
properly taken care of, yes.
Yes. So, all right. So we head out.
Yep.
We head out in a degree of hurry, obviously, but we also have two officers of the White Knights with us as we head out the front gates of Lyria.
Yeah, they're not gonna stop them.
No. Also, we're pretty well known at this point, so
Yep.
us heading off with the two of them is more than enough incentive to.
Not sure what he wants. Something.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. So,
as we go across the causeway, I take out the forked twig
yep.
and I cast locate creature again. This time for someone I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
A known individual to
This is
us.
very specific. Is he within range of this? Yeah, and that makes all the difference, apparently.
Very shortly track down the little bugger.
10 minutes later,
Yep.
by following my spell, we are at the door of a somewhat less reputable tavern
Yep.
in the outskirts of Lyria. We go into the door, and I lead us towards a table in the back corner where there is the and where there is Reynard's lookout. And if he has any thoughts about fighting his way out of this, it ends when he sees two white knights with their hands on their swords. And we are able to take him there, and they basically take him into custody. They have handcuffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does he know about Hector?
You're gonna ask him that?
What happened? I'm gonna ask him what happened to Hector.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage. Because he's basically at your mercy.
Still suck at this though. But I did manage to get a 15.
He says, I don't know anyone by that name. He says, I don't know who that is. He says, look, he says, I was just hired to keep an. I said, I haven't done anything wrong. I was just hired to keep a lookout for. And it says, Aldrich says, you'll have plenty of time to just plead your case. Stalia says, yes, you don't need to worry. We'll make sure we get everything out of him. Says, whether he knows it or not.
Get it out whether he knows it or not.
They have a variety of magical means of interrogation at their disposal.
All right.
Now, we're not finding out today, obviously, if he knows anything. As far as you can tell, he's being honest, but that just might be the fact that he's panicking.
Yeah.
And Reynard seems to have gone off, and they're going to drag him to the barracks. And I think that's where we're going to call it for tonight.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed this little mystery of ours. Yeah. As we continue our adventures in the lands of Lyria, and I hope you all enjoyed watching Tobias make his first ever appearance on one of my videos.
Yeah. He's going to be interesting going forward.
We'll see what's going to come of this in the following sessions. Who knows what will happen? Maybe we'll find Hector. Good night, everyone.
I don't think so.
Probably not.